Okay, we're starting. Dear viewers, welcome to Sip and Chat. My name is Akim Sujin, and today with me is one and only Menimen from Coozos Clan.
Yeah.
Menimen, welcome to Sip and Chat.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming and thanks for turning up for this interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to start, we start with introduction. You might tell us who is Menimen.
All right. My name is Menimen. Man, Mobile Man. My real names. I'm a musician because I do music and I do other stuff. That is entrepreneurship and all that. But also, most importantly, I am a parent, a father of two.
Father of two?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's all about Menimen.
Okay. Yeah. Menimen, I've known you for so many years. We grew up together in Kenya. And you have been having a very great journey musically. So take us back to when you started music. When did you start your journey of music?
It was back in Kakuma Refugee camp when I think you remember when there were these
UN days and all that.
Yeah, the UN days, yes. And so by then each and every young person would give it a shot and see whether you are really talented or maybe you just want to try, you know. So by then I could go for such. Even there was these rap battles that people would do. So me and my cousins were able to find out that, you know what, we can do this. Yeah. The late Lil J, if you remember.
Lil J, I know him.
Yeah, and then Coozos is right now taking up his career in US. So we were able to see that we have this and that, and so we formed the Coozos clan, which was just like a joke by then, and then slowly in 2004 we made our first record. You remember by then recording was really hard.
Yeah, in Kakuma it was really hard.
Yeah, it was really, and so we had to travel to Nairobi because by then we were on and off. Yeah. We could go to a refugee camp, but then sometimes we could go to Nairobi we were schoolings in either Kapenguria, Nairobi or Eldoret. So yes, so we were able to meet there, and so we did our first record. Okay. Our first record
in 2004.
Yes, it was. I remember it was called Figure One. That song.
Figure One.
Yeah.
That was your first song.
Yes,
your first recording.
Yeah, that was our first record. Okay. And so I think it was either Figure One or a song called Background, one of the two. But then I do not have them right now.
All right.
Yeah. So as from then, people received it so well, and so as from there, it was now music again.
Okay. Now that you started in 2004 and you've been moving and moving, what are the things that you felt like, have challenged you in music? Like, it has been a journey of very many years. Unlike other musicians, you have really journeyed in the music industry. Yeah. So what are the challenges you have faced so far?
The biggest challenge is right now, as from then when I was in Kenya, I was not able to see things clearly. Yeah. I was not able, first of all, I was not able to see the love that other Kenyans were getting in their country. Yeah. But when I moved back to South Sudan now, I was like, I'm a superstar in my home. But now, the biggest challenge that we've been struggling with us from then was how now to venture into African market to be able, because you are known here in South Sudan, you're a superstar, but what about outside? Yes. So this is a challenge that none of a South Sudanese artists have ever break through it until right now. Because it's not about, it's not about my song perhaps playing in maybe Citizen TV or perhaps maybe it plays in Wasafi once, but then being a superstar is different.
And also being accepted outside.
Being accepted. Like if I step out right now, people know this Menimen. Yeah. There's no single South Sudanese artist who could step out in maybe Uganda and they recognize that this, this so and so. So this has been a biggest challenge that we are faced from the first artists that started until the current.
How can we overcome that?
I think it's just about hard work.
Hard work. Okay.
Perhaps there are things we are not touching in the hard work.
And also maybe media should play a role.
Yes, media also should play a biggest role, and especially right now in this generation of what is called the digital world. Yes. It also plays a lot. For instance, if there was, let's take an example, if there was availability of power everywhere, and so there are TVs, the TV stations playing music. Someone in Barakazar right now would be watching someone in Bor, perhaps seeing my new song. Yes. And then also you see, would find internet would be available everywhere. So when I release a song today, each and every person knows. Yeah. I release a video and tomorrow is 1 million views, just like the way other people are doing. So you see also the challenge comes back to also the country situation.
Yes. Okay. Now balancing between music, family, as a father, and also as a businessman? How do you balance these three?
It's just about having a timetable. For instance, if I do my music, weekends is always for my music and family as well. But then you'd find that from Monday to Fridays, I'm in the office trying to do other, because music
try
does
to
not
be serious with business.
Yes, because music does not really pay us that much.
Yeah.
You know, and so if you say for sure that you will only stick into doing music, at the end of the day you'll be challenged, and so you become a desperate artist.
Yeah. Menimen, you know, this is a platform for us to talk about our stories, and we'll always want to shed light on your story. And you know, going back as Menimen, when did you go to Kakuma? Like, I know we all grew up in Kakuma, but how did you end up in Kakuma?
I remember by then the time of the war, the civil war that was in between, the one that was in Sudan by then. My mom and those of my uncle Singamai and other ones had to take their way with my dad, and so I had to remain with my grandmother and my auntie, who is Lil J's mother.
Yeah.
So you see, each and every person had to go separate ways. So for them, they end up in Ethiopia until maybe Kapoita and until Kakuma. Yeah, the first people in I think 1992 that reached there were them. And so me also, from the other hand, had to struggle in the Equatorial region, until we found ourselves in Okchobio. That was around maybe 1993 or towards 94. And so I found myself in Kakuma.
Okay.
By then, so we reunited there.
In Kakuma?
Yes, in Kakuma. And so as from there, I also had to move. I did not spend a lot of time. I also had to move to Kapenguria, where I started now my nursery school.
Okay, in Kapenguria?
Yeah, in Kapenguria. And so now I would come visit people in Kakuma and go back to Kapenguria.
What can you tell us about Kakuma? What are the good stories you can say about Kakuma? Kakuma is a home to some of us.
First of all, I think Kakuma was a very uniting factor for South Sudanese. Because I remember by then, me, when I was in Kakuma, I did not even know some of my friends are from Equatoria, you know. I just knew
we used to play football together, we do everything together, and that's it.
We would just only know ourselves from the groups.
Yeah.
So and so is from group 15, the group 16, the 17, 21. You know, until when we came to Juba, I mean South Sudan, after the CPA, that is when now I came to notice that, you know, there were Equatorians there were people from perhaps Bor and etc. So you see, first of all, I took Kakuma as a very uniting factor for young people, and so and until today, most of us that grew up in Kakuma, you'll find like we relate.
We know ourselves, and we always click.
We relate. We do not. You do not find this person is from here and here. This is one thing that Kakuma help us, and I think even when I started my music, the first support I got were most of the guys from Kakuma. Yes, until right now, when I go there, it's a big deal.
Okay, whose idea was it to start the Coozos clan? Whose idea was it? Who came up with the idea? Because you are many and you are cousins, like family.
Well, if I remember, it was an idea that was discussed on the table. Like, you know, Lil J was more talented than all of us.
Yeah.
He's a very talented person. And so when we noticed that this young person was talented, and so we were also struggling to get this, and so we were like, let's use this. And so Kulbush noticed that there was this word in a slang Swahili that could cousins is called Coozos, and so we just venture into that.
Okay.
So yes, it's an idea that came from Kulbush, and so you'd find even by then most of our ideas, songs and etc. Even though I could come up with most of it, you know, Lil J and Kulbush played a very big part in making Coozos clan alive.
Okay, let's talk a bit about Lil J. You know, when he passed on, how did it affect your music as Coozos clan, as a team, and how did it affect you as a person? Like, what impact did it have in your music?
Well, until today, it's still affected us so much, because me, as Menimen and some of our guys, you know, Coozos clan was not only about us who are singing.
Yeah.
There have been support from the background guys that perhaps the media do not know. Most of our
who are they? The background support. Who are they?
Most of our cousins, even my uncle, who's Singer Mike, also has,
Singer Mike, I know him very well.
really played a bigger role. Even one of my cousins called Mathiang, you know, he has been with us. He has also played a very big role. And most of our cousins, you know, who some are even in abroad and etc. So the singing part would be the three of us. So you see, when Lil J passed, it really affected the whole. It really demoralized the whole journey. And by then I remember that was when we had a song in the studio, a song that blew so much. It's called Duguara. We were waiting for Lil J to come and put his verse so we can release a song because he was in Pagari. And so the song was almost finished actually. If you notice, the song now was released after. So, you know, that really affected. I could not believe that even starting us from there, doing music by myself has not been easy. Until what I had to do is that I had to create a group, a clan-based music that I could bring in other guys because I'm not used to working alone. You know, it has really been a challenge.
You've been a team.
Yes, we've been a team. I am used to a teamwork. And so until right now, you'll notice if you find songs that I've done with people are the ones that go so much. For instance, Baby Boy was a close friend to Lil J, who has been asking to join Coozos clan for a very long time. And so when Lil J passed, I had to give him a green light to see whether maybe I would be doing interest of Juke. And so, you know, he's also helped in trying to make sure that we shape the Coozos clan and clan-based music in general.
Okay. So there's a song that I've seen trending for some few days. It will end in tears. What is it about?
It's actually a song talking about general lifestyle in South Sudan. For instance, if you talk, there are lines. Perhaps you've heard a line that talks about someone dating sugar mommy, but then this sugar mommy is the general's wife. So normally when this is found out, you know how it ends.
It ends in tears.
You know, and these are things that are happening, you know. A lot of people have complained of this immoral act happening, you know, our young people. For instance, ladies who like going after rich men and sleeping around Pyramid Hotel and etc. So, you know, all these stories that you hear there, most of these stories have always ended in a very bad story. They have it starts as a laughing matter, but then when it ends badly, there are always tears involved. So I was just trying to.
It's a very educative song.
Yes. Okay. So as much as we dance to it, we also get to find the meaning.
Get the message.
Okay.
So did you shoot the video for the song?
No, I'm here to do the video. I'm planning now to do the video in a few weeks.
In a few weeks. I hope you'll keep us posted. Talk about
definitely it. I will.
Apart from that, you know, when I came to Juba, I was with Malmakir here some weeks ago.
And
we talked about his journey. But that time, you know, the first thing I noticed when I came to Juba was Coozos songs on Miraya. One of them was Kitenge. Kitenge was it was an anthem. Every morning we listen to it. What inspires you to come up with that song? It is more African.
Most of our songs are based on true stories and things that happen in the society. If you noticed in South Sudan, especially by then, you know me, when I came back from Kenya, I did not know what happens here. And so one thing that I came to notice is that ladies like wearing the kitenge stuff. And so it would even go to an extent that guys would use it as a present. And so by then we were trying to act that man who is in love with the wife and could buy this kitenge as a present. And so you notice how it cuts the market. So, you know, music is just about talking about stories of people.
Within the community.
Within the community, story that can catch because you are singing, not singing for yourself, but to the people. And so that's what our songs are always based on. For instance, when we, if you noticed also there's a song that are stuck into people's mind until today, the Sukarabu song. It was just about...
the market evaluation.
Yes, because by then when you noticed, when you sang that song, by then water was moving from 1 pound to 2 pounds. It was a very small margin, which people cannot see. But you see, as an artist, you are able to see this, that you know what, if it's like this, in the next coming 3 years,
going to be worse.
It
And
will be
of
worse.
course it
And
happened.
right now it happened, you know. And so that's why other people mistake artists to prophets, but it's just a normal story that anybody can see. Anybody that does not have a voice to say this, because you see the difference, me and someone in the grassroots level, is that I am able to speak to 100 people.
You have the voice to speak to
I
people.
have the voice to speak to the people. But there's someone who's thinking about this that cannot speak.
Yeah.
So you see that this is what we really air out, what people complain about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Menimen, let's talk about your education.
Yeah.
Because where you have reached, I think, we grew up through challenges in life.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your education background.
Well, as you remember when we were in Kakuma, I think most of the education was free of charge.
Yeah.
And so we were able to, especially when I would, some of the classes in primary school I did in Kakuma, some I did in Kapenguria, where the education was really very quality.
The quality was good, yeah.
And so sometimes in when I finished up my primary level, and so I was called in a secondary school along the border of Uganda and Kenya. I finished my primary school in Kapenguria State, in a school called Rainbow. And so when I came, I was like, let me move to Uganda and do the rest of the high school there. And so until the third level, I got interrupted a bit. Family matters, and so what I did, I had to just first drop off. And so dropping off cost me situations until I was not able to. So what I did is that I now pick up from there with small courses. Because I could not see myself with the music and etc. now, and live also, that now came where you are not able to raise fees, and no one is able to raise fees for you, so you can be able to go back to school. I was like, you know what, let me now pick it up from here. I am a grown man, and so now when I noticed music was good for my side, I was now able to do short courses until to this junction. I've now registered for a course in Mount Kenya University in Kenya, where I am able to finalize my education.
What course are you doing?
A very hard one, though.
Very hard one.
Yes.
I thought you would go for music.
No. I'm trying to do chemical engineering so far. Yeah, it's really hard, but then.
No, but okay, that's a good one, because surprising, from music you're doing chemical engineering.
Yeah,
That's
but then
okay.
music itself does not.
It's a hobby. It's something that it's an added advantage to you.
But then it will come. Maybe you've heard of for instance, Nameless. You know Nameless career?
Yes.
Nameless have studied. Let me remember. It's something very far from
music.
From music.
Yet it's doing music.
Yes, yet it's doing music.
Okay.
You'll find that myself. I wanted to. For instance, Kulbush is doing piloting.
Yeah,
you know,
and he's doing music.
Yes, and then at first I wanted to do the architecture kind of course, but then it wasn't easy to get it around here. I would be required to travel.
And also, you cannot do long distance.
You cannot do long distance.
Yeah.
I would be required to do it in South Africa physically and etc. But then it would affect also my.
Yeah, your other.
But even this, I got only a chance of doing perhaps. Some semesters long distance, and then
some you have to go physical.
The other you have to go physical.
Yeah.
So these are things now that I'm trying to.
Okay, that's good.
To play around.
Menimen, our music industry in South Sudan is struggling.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that. We're really struggling. As you said, no, it's not like other countries. What's your advice to musicians who are coming up? You're a veteran in music.
Yeah.
But there are young people who are coming up who are interested in doing music. What's your advice to them?
First of all, is that music is a career we accept. But then it needs hard work.
Yeah.
You know, the artists that have really thought that music is about perhaps maybe talking about small achievements that you've got. You know, he who have the achievements rarely speak about it.
Yeah.
You know, for instance,
like you don't shout on Facebook. I've never heard you shouting on Facebook.
Yes, for instance, people that have money, you do not move on the street and say, you know what, I got the money I have. Sometimes the noise gives us lesser time to concentrate on what we are supposed to do. Because music itself, it's a full-time job. But then also, what should be on our table right now, to be able, we might be close to ripping off the fruits. But then all of us need to think about the strategies. How do we move from point A to, because we are stuck somewhere. You know, we just stuck around this. Even if we lie to ourselves, we say, you know, I have done interviews in Tanzania, I've done in Sudan,
I've done this and that,
you know,
a lot of talks.
Myself, I've done concerts that have filled stadium in this South Sudan. Even 3 stadiums that I can. Even in Sudan, in Khartoum. And these are completely different people. But then that I cannot, it's not where I'm supposed to reach. By now, 15 years or maybe more than that in the industry, I would be right now more. Even Diamond started behind me. Behind you, you know. So you know, I see that, and I see that we really are still fine. So yeah, there's too much work to do. And so the only thing that we need to do is now to create more strategies. See if we can also seek support from a lot of these private
corporate businesses,
companies that should support artists. You know, they should.
But how will they support Menimen when your artist association is very complicated? It's very messy.
But now
that is the body that should regulate and support and advocate for the rights.
But there is now, for instance, if I really want to work with you at him, and I know that media is complicated, I could ignore that because there's no right that says that please do not give Menimen endorsement deal as soon as it's not endorsed, as soon as it's not approved by the music body. It's not there. So you see, I am happy even Zayn is doing that right now. They've signed Sambro, who is now a brand ambassador. So you see, we can have private companies that are doing that. Big deals companies. You see, if for instance, if Sambro was a musician, you see the few things you would thought about right now, perhaps let me do a very good video for myself, you know. But also as a media personality, this is a very good, this is a very brilliant idea that people like Zayn thought about. So you know, musician, this is also it will play 30% from our growth. Once the things that we're supposed to, the cash that we're supposed to be getting from these private companies can be able to help in
build your music
and build your own music, because you'll have quality production.
Quality
you'll
video.
have you
can buy a studio.
For example, Harmonize have been asking me for a collaboration for the last 1 year. You know, because I was to do a collab with him some times back, but then we had a misunderstanding, you know, and so we had to settle. It's my friend basically. And so you see, when they came from the tour in US, I got a text from the manager that, you know what, we can be able to do work. Last time when I went to Tanzania, you remember, it was an invite from them.
So what are you doing with him? How soon are we expecting something between you and Harmonize?
My mind is, what is speaking in my mind is that I want to do quality work. This quality work needs
money.
Needs money, you know, and so sometimes if you balance that, what you get out of the music does not add up to that. You know, and so these are the things that, for someone like me, I would rather go for quality or do not do it at all. You know, this is why right now, if I was just rushing for collaboration, the next thing I would just rush there and do something, and perhaps release an audio and maybe do a substandard video and put out there. But I feel like it's not, again, part of my. I am not supposed to do that.
But it's in your list.
Yes,
Anytime soon you can do that.
Yes, it's in my list.
What is your advice to our East African musicians who undermine our music? Because, you know, some time back there was a lot of back and forth online.
Trust me, they do not undermine. Me, I am one of the persons that have come and study and get to know and tell myself that if we were on their shoes, the same would have done right now. Because you see, you'll find a South Sudanese artist going there, talk so big, I represent South Sudan. You see, representing a country, this person that is talking there would see their country. You know, for instance, you go talk to maybe Nameless, you say, I represent South Sudan. And then now Nameless would see how they represent South Sudan, how they represent Kenya, and now look at this person from how they dress. You know, to now, even now, if they give their work, sample of their work, now they listen to this work and see now this person, this is the person that represents South Sudan.
They claim to represent the country.
To the country. Now what would this person do? This is why they undermine us. Because they see the people that they happen to meet with the kind of work who says that they represent South Sudan, it becomes totally
they have no quality
unmatched. Yeah, no quality completely. So that have failed us. It has really returned us to it. And simply it is because we are not exposed. If we were exposed, if our work would go out there, someone in Kenya would know, Menimen is South Sudanese artist. Perhaps so and so. Perhaps Silver X is, you would just know them by name. Yes. But then we are not exposed. You see, anybody could go and claim representing South Sudan.
But also I blame musicians for that. I checked on some people's Facebook, and the last time they post was 6 months ago. You are a brand name, you are an artist. You should keep the conversation going. You should have a following. You should keep us updated. Some pages are dormant. So don't you think that also there's need for you to learn how to use social media? It's free of charge. And you have followings. But if you don't post anything, if you are dormant online, then people forget. They move on.
I know, and that is how now the brand, being a brand comes in. You'll agree with me at time that, an artist is not supposed to manage themselves.
Yes.
In South Sudan, you barely find artists with managers.
Yes.
Because they cannot afford. Even apart from the money, now you have a team. An artist is supposed to have a social media person.
Yeah. We'll deal with
someone will deal with
Twitter,
the
Facebook,
media,
page, everything.
A media person. An artist is supposed to have a PR person.
Yeah.
An artist is supposed to have
finance manager.
Perhaps a finance manager, or maybe how it is called in that language. It's not finance just like that, but then you'll find that someone that deals with resources is the same overall manager, but then you'll also find an artist supposed to have a security team.
Yeah.
An artist supposed to have a photographer. An
Even
artist
a designer who sees what
designer
he puts
that
on
sees,
and all
yes.
that.
So you see, all this brand makes an artist.
Expensive to manage.
Someone that thinks about how will this artist look in public, how will my artist appear tomorrow, what gig do we have for this artist? Someone that plans a year for an artist. So at the end of the day, if you find someone that is tasked to be on the social media for this artist, this person will think about a story every time. Something that makes news to the viewers.
Yes.
Something that puts an artist on trend.
Yeah.
For instance, you see me struggling, trying to post every time about it will end in tears, stuff like that. There are also people that post. Apart from me, there are other people that post.
That's not supposed to be your work, by the way. Someone should have been doing it for you.
Yes.
But unfortunately,
you see, there are also people that do that for me on my page. It is not every artist that is lucky to have maybe perhaps such people like me. And this team is built on trust.
Okay.
For someone to work with an artist, you have to be a trusted person. Because you see, there are a lot of stories with music, lifestyle, and being a celebrity. So sometimes the blame could be with the artist, but also poverty have pushed artists to that. Even right now as I speak, you might find there are artists that could not even afford a meal.
What happened to Mr. Lenz?
Well, I do not know, but then I know I know perhaps he's doing. Music is not easy. Sometimes, as I tell you.
But you guys started at almost the same time. You guys were I can call you veterans of the music industry in South Sudan. But at some point, it just went quiet like that. That's it.
Lenz is a very talented artist, I can assure you. And he's one of the artists I respect so much. One thing, as I told you, when even a veteran artist, when you lack support, it becomes hard for you. And that is right now a case for many of us. If you find the ones that are relevant, they are trying as much as possible by their own to make sure that they become relevant. So one thing that I know until today is that Lenz still record music. He does music with Yahoo Studio every time. Perhaps if support cuts from somewhere there that you cannot push, because you love this song out. But right now the industry is becoming something else. You also need a team to push the song.
Yes.
Otherwise the song will not be there.
It will not, yeah.
DJs have to play music, radio stations have to play music. It has to be online and all this. So whatever he's doing, I believe, is also trying to re-strategize and be.
Okay, focused. What is your advice to Lady Kola, the music Sankara, as an upcoming artist? What can you say about her music and what she's doing?
I don't have specific advice because one thing that I know is that she's a musician who is doing her work. And sometimes she was with me. She was part of my plant-based music team.
Then she left?
Yes. I think she had to start also her own stuff. She was with me for a period of perhaps a year or something.
Okay.
But then she's a good artist. She's an artist that have respect for her own elders. She's an artist that have respect for her bosses. Until right now, she still call me her boss because she has that respect that she has ever worked with me.
Okay.
So and that is the most important thing in music. If you have respect for other people, you'll prosper.
Okay.
So I really believe that she really deserves what she's getting right now.
Yeah, that's great. What are the 3 things that people don't know about Menimen? 3 things that no one knows about you.
First of all, I do not drink or smoke. You know.
You have never drank or smoked?
No. I'm a
Never
very
in your
sober.
life?
I'm a very sober artist, 24/7.
Okay.
I am this artist that I can proudly tell you that in the whole industry in South Sudan, I have 100% respect from the artist.
From all the artists?
Yes, there's no artist that I've ever disrespected.
You don't have issues with artists? You don't have beeps?
Completely no. Completely
That
no.
is
Even some of the artists come to me in my office to seek advices if there are issues.
And you advise?
For instance, John Frog's case with K2 sometimes back. 3 of us would just sat and solve it. You know, there were issues before that.
There were a lot of fights.
Simply because K2 respect me and also Frogs respect me. Because,
so you mediate?
Yeah, because before then Frog was my guy, was my boy, he was staying with me. It was just my neighbor, so every time he would come home, the way youth move, you know, he comes, we chill until he goes to his place until by midnight or something. So you see, the 100% respect that he had was able to make them listen.
Yeah.
You know, so and many of such cases I was able to solve. It is because I respect them and they respect me. So you see, this I count also as one of the things that yes. And then
the 3rd one,
perhaps me not being an outgoing person, you not find me also around girls in club or maybe.
Okay.
It's rare. Even when I hadn't got married, I would not hang out with girls so much.
Okay.
Because you know, girls can change your focus from what you want to do. So.
But how do you manage temptation? Because you are a big name, they can push themselves on you. What do you do? How do you manage to?
But of course, I have a team. Like the way you see me moving with people.
Like the team is here.
Yeah, these are people that cannot allow anything
to happen. Anyhow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, even when I go to my tours out, you'd find me that I have team. I have everyone around, from my security team to the manager to my cousins.
So the only sober artist in South Sudan, how do you manage to perform on stage? I was told by some artists that, you know, when you take something, it's when you gain the confidence. You know,
that is 100% a lie, 100%. Because you see, this is your work. You cannot tell me right now, I tell him that you have to drink alcohol to be able to talk to me. You know, this is completely a lie.
Okay.
Because if you go to music, it's your work.
Yeah.
Your work. You cannot be motivated by something to be able to do your work. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, music is music.
Okay.
You sing music, you write music, you go perform.
That's it.
If it's your work.
Yes.
Unless if for sure you are not talented.
Okay.
You are just trying maybe to push things.
Okay. When I was announcing this interview, I posted the poster, and someone wrote to me and said, "You asked Menimen one question. Menimen is having dreads, but his head is the hair is not in the middle. There's no dread, but on the side there's dread. So let's see."
No, here
what
you can see. Here, if you see when I made my dreads, you can see right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see there's hair. To confirm there's hair.
If when I made my dreads, the person that made it from I head here, they made it so thin down here. So sometimes with dread people that have dreads, you'll confirm that when you wear a cap like me, it eats from down there and then it becomes more thin. Especially
so it cuts off.
Yeah, it cuts off. Especially if you do not add it with another to tie and
so
stuff. But then my hair
about this side.
Other people, you know, it's hair naturally cuts from people, even the ladies.
Yeah.
And especially if you see right now when I put tint here, the idea is to keep it short. I do not want it to grow long. So you see, there are other people that add. But me, I decided to be natural and leave my hair. I do not want to put.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are coming to an end, Menimen. What is your last advice to musicians, and also what is your last word to your viewers outside, your fan outside there? What are you telling them?
Well, to my fans, I would always say that thank you so much for supporting the local music, and it's a journey that everyone in South Sudan is involved. Yeah. If we are able to make it, inshallah, later on, we would be saying, just like P Square was saying, that it is South Sudan that proudly made us. Yes. It is not any other country. So I would encourage you that always support the local music. That is how we are able to move from point A to B. Okay. And then to artists, I think the most thing that they have to keep among themselves is respect. Okay. Let them respect themselves, because respect is everywhere, even in your own house. Yeah. Your mother tells you respect elders, respect so and so and so. Because respect gives you a lot. It gives you a lot. For instance, I might meet with someone that meant to do A, B, C, D for me. Yes. But the first impression, if I do not have respect, if I do not know how to communicate with the people, if you feel like perhaps you are wild, you do not want to say hello to people, sometimes it turns off other people. Yeah. I had a story of someone speaking. Someone was telling me, was it online? I was live. Someone says, you know what? Sometimes we want to give you artists. We want to give you something, but then other people that feel big, it turns off. Okay. I can tell you the Diamond was performing and he was given, was it 10,000 Tanzanian shilling by a friend. But then he took it. He has money. That is his fun. Yeah. What someone gives you is what they have. Yeah, that is humility. Yeah, they do not have the 1 million that you. And the small they have, they give it to you with all they give it to you with all they had. Yeah. So you see, sometimes respecting other people could make us go further. Yeah. And then last but not the least is that we should always get focused and work hard, because working hard in this game, you cannot be pushed by your uncle, perhaps. Even if your uncle is in J1, he cannot push you. Okay. Yeah, so it's just hard work. All right, thank you so much. Dear viewers, this is Sip and Chat. My name is Atim Sujin, and today I'm dressed up by Empire Business, where you can get all the forms of printing, whether it is t-shirt, whether it is anything. Please don't mind to come to their Empire. This is one of our local South Sudanese business that is booming, and they're doing a great job. Thank you for coming, Menimen, and hope to chat with you next time. Welcome. Thanks a lot, bro. All right, then. Yeah. Wonderful.